everyone, and welcome to this next video on how to actually now share files from Google Drive. Now, this I think is one of the most important aspects of using Google Drive for both teachers and students is sharing particular folders and files with other people to work on collaboratively. Okay, so this is a really important part. Now, you can do all of this sharing within a Google Doc, within a Google Slide, and if you take some of our other courses that deal with this, you'll know what I'm talking about. But for this particular scenario, let's just focus on how to share out using only Google Drive. Okay, so let's just start with a folder. Maybe you wanted to share a particular folder with a colleague, or again, if you're thinking about in terms of how a student would use this, if a student wanted to share a folder, maybe they made a folder for a project and they want to share that folder with other people. So I can click on a folder. Okay, now it gives you all the details of that folder. Okay, but right now I just have the description and so forth. But then I can also do two things. Up here is a shareable link, or here is add people. Okay, so I'm going to click on the shareable link. Now what this has just done is it says that link sharing is off. Okay, let's just make this a little bigger. Link sharing is off. Now I'm going to go click it on. Okay, now I'm using a school Google Drive account making this particular video. Now, if you're using a school account, if you're using an account that your school has, a Google Apps account, it will default to usually only with anybody within that organization has the ability to view this folder. Okay, only they can view it. They can't make changes to it. They can view the folder. But what you want to do is also be able to maybe change some of that. So you click on sharing settings. Okay, and right now, again, it gives you a lot of information on this particular screen. Okay, so first it says I can share with anybody within my school can view it. Okay, now I can say that anybody within my school can edit the folder, which means they can go in and they can delete files, they can add files. So you gotta be careful on how much sharing responsibilities you want to give people just by sharing a link. So that could be dangerous because if other people get that link who perhaps you don't want to have those sharing responsibilities, they'll have it. So usually I don't let anybody edit if I'm just sharing a link, but just keep that in mind. Now I can click on more. Now this is where I usually use this a lot. Maybe I want to move beyond just my view of people in my school district. Maybe I want to say anyone has the ability to access this link. So that right here gives you the ability to change this. So I can say they can view only, or they can organize, they can edit. Okay, or I can say they can view only. So you can really change it. Or you can also make this public on the web, which I've never really done. And then you can say view only, or you can organize. Or you might want to add specific people. You could add specific people here. Okay, share with specific people. Okay, so everything is off right now. Okay, so that's one way you can actually do this. Okay, now you can also add people's names from this particular screen. Now, if you're in a Google domain, it's really easy. You just start typing in people's first names, and everybody's going to come on up in your Google domain. All right, but if you're not in a Google domain, if you're just using your private account, you won't have this particular option. You will have the option to add email addresses, but you're going to have to enter them in manually. Okay, or you can enter in email addresses. If you're in a non-education account, you won't have this ability to only share within your school. It'll just be the main page. Okay, so I think I've given you a lot of things here. Now I just clicked on the advanced sharing aspects. Okay, so right now again it gives you more advanced option. There's the link I could copy to share it out. Right now anyone in my Clarence district can view this. I can change it here as well to anyone with the link. Okay, or specific people. I can also add people. Now I added myself to this particular folder. So I created it with my school account, but I added my own self to this folder in my personal account. Now the reason why I did this was because if I'm using my Chromebook and I want to get into my personal account on my Chromebook, I still want to have access to that folder. So I gave myself complete editing rights on my personal account. So that's one way I think is useful because, again, if you're in different accounts and using different devices, sometimes maybe you want to have access to all your stuff from different places. So you can kind of change this if you want to. Or you can invite people right here and you can notify them. You can add a little message. Hello, welcome to my folder, right? Or you could then click the link, prevent editors from changing, and accessing or adding new people. They can edit the document, but they can't share the folder. They can edit the folder, but they can't share the folder with other people. So you got a lot of things you can really decide upon in terms of sharing privileges with people in a folder. Now that was just from clicking the link. So one more time, click Shareable Link. You can change the sharing settings. I can change it here. I can click on More. Or I can also go down to Advanced and then have more possibilities there as well. Okay. Now, I'm still in this particular folder, right? I can click Add People right from here. And it gives you the same boxes for options. Okay. So that's one way of sharing a folder with people using Google Drive. Now, you can also open up a folder and let me get to some files here, okay, that I can look and so say, here's a file that I did. It's a graphic organizer. I can do the same thing from here. I can just, as long as this is highlighted, I can now click on the link. It's the exact same process. I can turn sharing linking on. I can then mess around with the sharing settings. I can copy this link and email it to somebody so they can view this document, or I can change the settings. They can edit it, or I could add different settings here. The same as the folder, it's the same consistent thing. Or I can add people to this document, and it's the same setup. Okay, so really whatever we just did with the folder can also be done with a Google Doc in terms of sharing. Okay, so that's how you really, with students might want to share out a Google Doc and they can work on it together. Now, there's a much easier way to share using Google Classroom, but this is something that's out of the realm of this particular video. But there's ways to share Google documents with Google Classroom. So please stay tuned for more videos and courses about those particular aspects. Now, one thing I want to add here, this is new, is team drives. Now, team drives are only going to be on or visible if you're using either an education account for a particular school or school district, or if you're actually a business client using an enterprise account. If you're using a personal account, you won't have team drives here. But what team drives have done is they've pretty much taken the place of sharing folders for students working on a project or even colleagues working on a project. Because when you only shared a folder, it was kind of limited. But now if you share a drive, what you can do is basically place folders within folders, and you can create a drive. So I can go to Team Drives. So I'm in Team Drives, and I've had 2 students share a team drive with me. And they've created these. We do a lot of collaborative projects, and they take on the names of a real military group in history. So these are just student groups. And I can go into their team drive and see how it looks a little bit different. It's like you're in a mini Google Drive. It shows you all the members of the drive, shows you their activity, what they've done most recently, okay? And then it shows you the files they've accessed most recently and any folders they've created. Now, they've given me the right to go in and I can add folders, I can add documents into their Google Drive, which is really kind of nice. Okay, so I can get out of there, go back to my team drives. There's another team drive. It shows you they've organized their stuff into folders. They have some recordings down here for projects, and it gives you the details of who's in the particular group, and that's really nice. Okay, so again, if I go to team drives, I can go back to team drives, and I can click new, and I can make a new team drive. Now, this might be something you want to do with colleagues. Maybe you're all working on the same course together, and this might be a nice place where you can now create a team drive. So I'm just going to call this team drive test. I'm going to create, okay, and it's going to work on it. So here's the test drive, and now it gives you, the first time you go through this, it could give you it would guide me. How do I add members? I press guide me. Okay, so it gives you all the different things that you can do. All right, so we won't do all that, but I can add members, and now I can just search through my directory. Okay, I can send them a message. All right, and I can give them certain responsibilities. They can have full rights. They can only edit. They can only maybe comment, and they can only view. So it's, again, very similar we did with the files and with the Google Docs. You're just deciding on how to give shared responsibilities to different people. All right, and now this is like a mini drive. You can start adding folders the same way, like a new folder, new file. It's everything that you have in terms of organizing it. Okay, and you have some settings. Okay, you could probably customize it and do some cool things with it. So I'll get out of there. All right, and you can search and have some fun with your new Google Team Drive. Okay, so again, great for students working on a project like I've showed you, and also great for teachers working together perhaps on the same course, all right? Or even curriculum development, right? Okay, so I hope this video is helpful in terms of accessing and sharing files with other folks using Google Drive. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.